Yay! Oh, that didn't go very well.
Wow. What a conference. We just finished watching live the Nintendo Switch conference that happened in Tokyo, and we wrote down some notes, and we just want to tell you guys what we think.
Yeah, it's quite a presentation. I really felt actually excited for this console. Kind of a few gripes here and there, but I think altogether I did like the conference.
Yeah, me as well. I think it was very good. I don't know. I'm kind of weird about this, but I really like how they set up the presentation itself. It was it was changing all the time. They were changing people. It wasn't just like tons of puns and like costumes and videos, and it's just like it was very cool. I liked how they set that up, because I feel like a lot of like E3 conferences, sometimes it's one guy standing there for an hour just talking, and even though it's like information we want to hear, it's like super boring. But this, they like, oh, it's Japan, they have to make it animated and crazy and stuff. So I thought it was really cool. We did take some notes, like Manuel said. The first thing that they started off were just kind of the big things that we were thinking about and wondering about. The first one being, when is this going to come out? And so they stated in the video that the Nintendo Switch will be coming out and launching on March 3rd of 2017 throughout the whole world. In the past, they've done a lot of times when it just releases in Japan, and then some months or sometimes a year later it'll release in the United States or Europe or wherever. But this is just flat out the whole world, March 3rd, 2017. And
they did also release the pricing for it. From what I took notes on, it looks like in Japan it is going to be 29,980 yen, and then 299.99 in the US. And Europe, unfortunately, there was no pricing. It kind of just depended on the retailer. But that was actually kind of within our range of kind of rumors that we saw on the pricing. And they are taking pre-orders, I believe, tomorrow, I think, which is going to be Friday. According to New York's Nintendo Twitter, it's going to be, they're going to be accepting limited pre-orders at around 9 a.m. New York time, so Eastern time, and later on a further day, I believe it was January 21st, we'll be taking pre-orders in Japan. So kind of a little bit a jump in time to kind of pre-order the actual device. But I'm excited. I'm still a little bit on the fence if I still want to pre-order. I still haven't kind of found out as much information as I wanted to actually buy the device. But any other input you want to give on that?
No, like you said, it's super exciting. It is coming out very soon. I like how it is coming out in March and not, December this year or whatever. So
yeah, I feel like they pulled kind of a, I don't know if you have ever played the game Fallout, but Fallout released their trailer. Like, they announced that the game was actually existing. I think it was like 3 months before it basically released. So it's kind of pulling kind of the same kind of idea where they just kind of show you it real quick and then you can get it in a couple months.
Something else that's very interesting is they talked about online services, how you can connect with friends and you can play with other people through their online system. It sounded like it was going to be Xbox Live, similar to that, because they said there's a trial period where it's free, but the fall of this year there's going to be paid services.
And probably more information on that. Maybe kind of what's going to be including and kind of different features about it.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel paid service is a good thing. It's kind of more like paying maintenance fees. It's useful to kind of actually keep your service running.
Right.
And I don't know, as you've seen with like Xbox Live or PSN, they both kind of have actually really good servers that they actually run, and those servers are pretty expensive to maintain as well.
Yeah, exactly. So another rumor that was going around was about the battery life, and before we heard that when it was taken off the dock, that it would run for about 2 to 3 hours. In the presentation, they said it can run anywhere between 3 to 6 hours. which is nice because that's a lot longer than 2 to 3.
Yeah.
It's probably based upon settings of brightness and resolution,
and also the game like processing power and stuff
right,
like that.
Right, exactly. So that's very cool to hear. Something that we were also talking about earlier is we wanted it to have the ability to have a USB cord attached to it, so that you can charge it, you can connect it to your car, you can connect it to your computer. So they did mention that they will have the USB Type C cord in there, so that would be really cool.
I'm personally excited for it, mainly because I like having some kind of portable charger, which, you know, a lot of people who may have played Pokemon Go, you would have noticed that a lot of people kept on buying battery packs or power bricks basically to charge their game, which is basically what I wanted to, because like I don't mind carrying around an extra charger, so that way I can actually play for a longer time. And having USB-C is perfect, just so maybe I can get an adapter, or maybe I can just get a USB-C power brick or something like that to charge it.
Exactly. So that is an awesome part. They also talked about local multiplayers, how you can connect your different...
We can connect multiple devices, multiple switches together to play multiplayer.
Right. So you can play multiplayer between multiple Nintendo Switches. They went deeply into the Joy-Cons, the new controllers that they have for the Nintendo Switch, which I thought is very interesting and very unique. We've never seen controllers like this before, and they also showed the new designs that they have, not designs but colors. They'll have the neon blue and the neon red. They'll also include straps that connect to the top of the controllers, so that you have a more predominant L and R buttons, and also the strap so that you don't drop it. And also I thought what was very interesting is the HD Rumble, the new system that they have on there, so that instead of just vibrating in your hand, there's more to it. There's like, they showed the example of the ice cubes inside of a glass, where when you shake the controller it feels like there's an ice cube inside of it. So that's gonna be pretty interesting and pretty cool.
Kind of a new level of depth, kind of, I guess, realistic kind of features. And yeah, I thought it was actually pretty cool, because it's kind of more like immersion in the game, or kind of depending kind of how games are going to use it. But I'm pretty excited for that kind of feature. Another thing that we kind of noticed within it is just the different types of play styles that the Switch is going to be featuring. So if you have seen previous trailers, you would have noticed that you can dock it, to play on the TV. You can undock it, play on mobile, and even just undock it, and as well as taking off the controllers to play with 2 players as well. So it's trying to basically have a widespread variety of different ways you can play different games, which is pretty good for the different types of audiences.
Exactly. I think something that Nintendo's always done is to try to focus on families, and also just the ability to use gaming anywhere. Like they mentioned in the beginning of the video, on the GameCube, for example, they put a handle on it so you can use as a portable console system and take it to other people's houses, or even in a car. They just have had so many different concepts with gaming, and I think it's cool how they just put all of this together into one console. Let's go ahead and jump over to the games themselves. They brought a lot of trailers out in this conference, and I say half of them we're interested in, the other half not so much. But definitely the first one that they show in the conference was 1-2 Switch. How instead of looking at the screen while playing the game, you're looking at your opponent's eyes. And it's a very interesting concept, and something that I've never thought of before, but it's very cool. But we were thinking that this is probably going to be like the new Wii Sports type of game.
To be completely honest about it, it did seem a little bit gimmicky, and well, maybe not gimmicky, but more just really simplistic. But I think for a family game, or just something you can kind of play with 2 players in the same room, I thought it'd be pretty fun for a good while. It kind of like the game itself, it's 1-2 Switch. It kind of felt like a variety of different games. The main one that they showed off was some kind of a Mexican standoff, kind of, it seemed like, and it was more like the type of the game was you would have it. You would have the controller, the separated the separated Joy-Con controllers, usually like by your pocket, and as soon as I'm guessing it would alert you to shoot each other pretty much, or as I'm guessing it'd be whoever does it first.
Right. So very interesting, very cool concept. Like Manuel said, very silly and simple. I don't think I'll be taking it out to the park with my family and playing those games per se, but you know, everyone has their own things. But the next game that they showed was Arms, and Arms was definitely interesting. A cool new boxing concept with the extended arms. They quickly showed a little preview of it, but I think that'll be a pretty fun game.
Yeah, that one actually did seem interesting to actually maybe check out. It did resemble a lot of the Wii, like I think it was Wii Play Boxing or Wii Sports Boxing, which I personally enjoyed that game, and it was kind of a new twist where you can kind of actually move around and just box each other out, and it felt more like your arms were like springs and you can actually control where they're going. It felt really cool.
Our only concern is, as Manuel brought up, he's like, are they teaching us about domestic violence? Like, come here, I'm gonna beat you. And then they showed like how if you try to punch them straight, you can turn your controller and it'll curve. You'll still hit them, and no matter what, you'll still hit them. So be careful with that. But it should be a really fun game.
Yeah, I'm very excited to check that one out. The next one that they showed off was Splatoon, which was Splatoon 2. It was a sequel to a kind of arcade kind of shooter that I think was made by Nintendo, and the concept was basically just everyone's armed with some kind of paint gun, and you're spraying each other with paint, and you can kind of travel between the paint. I haven't played it, but it looks fun, and it's kind of a specific audience that really would like to play that game.
Yeah. I've never played it before personally. It does look very fun for sure, but not something that I'd probably invest my money into. We are concerned a little bit about the presenter. I mean, just look at him.
Is he creating the new dab? I'm not sure.
I think I don't know. That's the Japanese Splatoon dab.
I don't know.
He needs help. Look at this face. Look at it.
We'll try to we'll show you an image of it, and just give us your feedback about that pose.
So after Splatoon 2, this one's super exciting. Is the new Super Mario game, Super Mario Odyssey. When we both saw it, we were just amazed because it almost looks like an open world type of game. Maybe not open world, but it's just definitely more 3D, just open, because it reminds me a lot of Mario Sunshine. If any of you played Mario Sunshine, you can just move anywhere you wanted to. It wasn't just 2D flat across. You have to jump over these pipes and bricks and make the end goal. There's a lot more to it. So that is going to be a super fun game, especially with the hat, the new hat, where you can throw it and it's like a boomerang and it'll come back to you. You can use it to hit people or to jump on.
You can even jump on it, use it as a platform to maybe get to somewhere higher or across a bridge or something like that.
Right, so that's definitely going to be a fun game.
And an interesting fact about that game is it did seem like the world that you're traveling in that game look a bit more modern, but you're also going to other different places. You kind of go to different, like, almost universes or different worlds.
Yeah.
Because I did notice that he even kind of was jumping on, like, fruit or kind of the smaller objects, and he would be in the city streets, which did resemble maybe New York or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a new take and kind of a new era of Mario, kind of just resembling maybe like a mixture of Mario Galaxy or I don't know, just different Mario games. It did look really interesting, and I'm actually really excited to try that one out.
Yes. So that one is definitely going to be a fun one, and definitely one that I think will be a popular pick. They go on to Xenoblade 2. They go talking about partners that they're going to be with, Octopath Traveler. These different games. What was the other? Dragon Quest?
Dragon Quest like 9 and 10, and
no,
Heroes
it was
1 and
10,
2.
10 and 11.
I thought it was 9 and 10.
No, it's 10 and 11. We don't know what 1 through 9 is. Remember?
Oh yeah, it was 10 and 11, and then Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2.
Yeah. We don't know anything about those games. So we thought it was interesting how they're going to come out with 3 games just right off the bat like that.
Yeah, it was like 3 sequels. It felt like.
Yeah. So we particularly, at least me, I'm not into games like that, where it's anime filled or just, I don't know, they're just not very popular. I'm kind of not riding the bandwagon, but I just, Mario, Pokemon, Smash, those type of games are my favorite, so I usually try to stick with those.
Yeah, Dragon Quest, I saw a little bit of gameplay in there, and it did seem a little bit more like 8-bit kind of related. I definitely would give it a try, but it's just not something that I would be like, getting excited about.
Yeah. Definitely have a certain taste. But if you guys know more about that, let us know. Tell us more about it so we can learn more about it. Maybe send us some gameplay down in our email below. We always love receiving gameplay videos there. So yeah, show us more about that. Let's go and
The next game.
switch over to the next game.
I had to scream. I'm sorry. When I was watching the conference, I just had to scream.
He did scream drastically.
I saw Todd Howard.
He screamed like a little girl.
I did.
Seeing her
But
crush.
it was worth noting. It's for an amazing game.
It is Skyrim.
Skyrim is coming to the Switch, and as announced by Todd Howard, our Lord and Savior. Some even call him God Howard.
They do. I've heard of that before.
Just saying, that one we didn't get a lot of information, but we did get an announcement that it is coming to the Switch. We just don't know yet when. But I am definitely gonna pick that up.
Yes, that will be a must. Yeah, they didn't go too much into it, but we're definitely excited for that to come onto the Nintendo Switch and see what they do with it. They also mentioned the new Zelda game. They also didn't go too much into it. They had a pretty cool trailer, but we were talking about it like it's exciting that they're still going with Zelda and the story and the games. But at the same time, it looks like this animation almost was a downgrade compared to their previous games.
I wouldn't say necessarily a downgrade. I just think it was just a new animation style. Because if you look at the different generations of Zelda, they've all kind of looked way different, completely different from each other. Because you look at Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess, heck, even Skyward Sword, they all kind of have their own kind of cartoonish or even realistic aspects of it. This one I would say it did lean more towards anime-esque kind of like art style, but it still looked amazing.
Yeah, it did for sure. I agree with the anime side. It looked more cartoony. Like you said, previous games they've made it look more realistic, and it seems like most games try to do that. By each game that's more detail, more realistic. But this one, they're just straight up gonna do a different style, so that's gonna be cool. We were really disappointed and bummed though, because we were waiting for a trailer for Super Smash Brothers and at least something for Pokemon, but they did not do that today. So hopefully here in the near future they'll come out with some trailers for that stuff.
Yeah, I did hear rumors in the past that they were working on Pokemon games for the Switch. Just not sure when or what it will be later on, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with those series. Super Smash Brothers, of course, is an amazing game. I wouldn't even care for maybe like a port over of the Wii U Super Smash Brothers. I wouldn't mind playing that. That would still be a fun game to play even right now.
Yep.
But we just have to wait and see for those kind of games.
Exactly. And so overall, it was a really good conference. Lots of our questions were answered. Lots of rumors were answered. We hope you guys learned a lot from this video. As always, we appreciate you guys for listening in and watching this video. Please make sure to like this video if you liked it down below, and please subscribe to our channel for updates, more updates on Nintendo news, on gameplay, on stuff like that.
Yep, we will keep you guys in the loop.
So thanks guys, and nos vemos.
Nos vemos.